It was the spring of 1915 when newlywed couple Willard and Rebecca Bean moved to Palmyra, New York to serve as missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It had been 84 years since church members had been driven out by mobs, and the Beans were not welcome. Willard had made a name for himself as a professional boxer. About 10 years earlier, he had won the title in the National Middleweight Boxing Championship. His fame only added to the persecution he and his wife received. They had lived there only a short time when a group of men came to their door. "We are a committee that's been sent here to tell you people we want you to leave Palmyra. We don't want any Mormons here," one of the men said. "I'm sorry to hear that," Willard replied. "We had hoped to come out here and fit in with you people and be an asset to this community. But I'm telling you we're here to stay if we have to fight our way. I'll take you on one at a time or three at a time. But we're here to stay." The Beans faced an entourage of public ridicule and attacks on their faith for many years, but their determination to fulfill their mission would change their lives and the hearts of those they served, and it would become the longest-serving mission in the church's history. That's one of the lesser-known stories of early LDS church history, and it's being adapted into a new movie debuting in eastern Idaho this weekend. The film's director, T.C. Christensen, joins us now to talk about this film entitled The Fighting Preacher. What inspired you to tell this story?
I read, it came from a book. The grandson of Willard and Rebecca Bean wrote a book. It was published in 2009, and the book was sent to me. And I just thought there were so many great characters and scenes, and the resolution of it is heartwarming. It's just kind of, I've made mostly faith-based kind of films, and this was just right up. I felt like it would be right up my alley.
What's the name of the book?
A Lion and a Lamb.
And who's
by Rand Packer, and he's the grandson of the Beans. He wrote it, and he's been very involved with us in this production, and in fact, many of the extras in the film are descendants of the Beans. I like to do that. We have them come, and people, the actors on the set, it just kind of changes the whole spirit of the set, because this is the guy's grandson, this is the guy's great-granddaughter, and they just realize that these are real people we are making this movie about, and the extras come as descendants to pay homage to their ancestor. I have called it the greatest church history story that nobody knows.
Okay, because I was going to say, this is my first time hearing about it. I didn't know anything about this, so.
No, it's not, really, it's not. It's very fast becoming well-known, because the movie and the book is getting increased popularity now, too. But no, in fact, I'm at Education Week at BYU, and I did a presentation on it today, and one of the questions was, how did I've never had a lesson, I've never heard of this, nothing, never heard of it at all. And I don't know the answer to that. I don't know why it hasn't been known, because it is an amazing story, but I love it that it's not well known, because it's fun to have people come out of the theater and go, wow, where did that come from? How can that be true? And I've never even heard of it.
Just to highlight the story a little bit, Willard and Rebecca were called to serve a mission, and that mission was supposed to last about 5 years, but it ended up lasting 25.
Yes, that's right. It's the longest mission ever served in the church.
What are some of the things that they accomplished on their mission?
Well, they were finally able to secure several church properties, like the Hill Cumorah. They purchased the Whitmer Farm, the Martin Harris Farm, and several other properties. That's kind of the physical side of things, but the real heart of the story and of what the Beans accomplished is that they turned the hearts of the people to where they didn't hate them so bad. And the Beans learned to love the people of Palmyra as well. So it's that kind of a, let's all let's all see how we can get along and learn to love each other kind of story.
Is this story relatable to people of all faiths?
Yes, and beyond that too, I think, because even though that it's concerning a couple that go on an LDS mission, the themes and all that we deal with in the film really apply to anybody, and neighbors and getting along with people of other races and so forth. It's all applicable, and we've had very good comments from non-LDS people.
There seems to be a hunger for faith-based filmmaking lately. There's been a lot of faith-based films in the last 4 or 5 years that have done really well at the box office. Is that your feeling as well?
Well, I hope so, because I think there is a little bit of a reaction against Hollywood with their current fare, and we've had so many people have come to this film that tell us, I haven't been to a movie for 20 years. They just drop out. They just quit going, And this is the kind of film that I hope a lot of those people will change their course and come back and see.
This movie is another in a long line of not only faith-based films, but of LDS-based films. I still remember back in 2000 when a little film called God's Army came out, and that sort of was the beginning of this LDS filmmaking trend. What's next?
Well, nobody's really punching through. There really haven't been very many financial successes in this area for really quite a few years. And everybody that's, the filmmakers, all of us were trying to figure out what's going to really punch through and still be popular. I don't know what's next, but the way I approach this is not, what people really want to see is a movie about dinosaurs, or I don't know. I don't do anything like that. For me, I approach it all from story. I just find the best story that I can and that I think touches me and I would want to see, and I make that. And I throw it out there, and hey, maybe it'll be really popular, maybe it won't, but that's the best I can do.
What's the first major film title you got to be involved with?
Well, of mine, it was 17 Miracles. But as
Okay.
a kid, when I was just starting out, I was the director of photography on a film called On Our Own. And
I'm aware of that one.
was about 88. Well, you would have been a little kid, I'll bet.
Yep.
And that film did really well, and it was Lyman Dayton that was the producer-director of that. He took a chance on me and hired me as the director of photography, and after that I probably made another 4 films with Lyman. Anyway, that's kind of where I started.
Talking about the film On Our Own, I understand that you make a brief appearance in that movie.
Oh my gosh, how do you know that?
You're the guy who comes out trying to stop the kid from driving away, and you're in your underwear.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Lyman got me to do that because the guy that was supposed to do it didn't show up, and so he talked me into it.
Okay.
So that's the only time I've ever been in front of the camera, and may I say, I did a fantastic job.
Well, not many people get to be in their underwear on camera, so.
You knew how fat and bald I am, then boy, that's a chance.
So it's interesting to me. So you kind of you're in this niche now of doing faith-based films. That probably wasn't a deliberate choice. That's just sort of something that happened.
Oh, I don't know. It happened in the sense that I knew early on that film is a very powerful medium and that people are affected by what they see, and I did make a conscious decision that I was not going to do naughty stuff and bad stuff. I wanted to drop on the side of making things that I would be proud of. And, part of it then you start into that line of thinking, and then your career just kind of evolves that way.
What is your favorite project?
Oh, I have to say this one. I did this. This Fighting Preacher, it was a joy from start to finish. The family, the Bean family, has been terrific to me. It's being really well received now. It's just been fun all the way through. It's such a good story that isn't, I would say, heavy-handed or pound you over the head kind of a faith-based film. It just shows an example of being good to people and the effect that can have.
Fighting Preacher opens this Friday. What's the big takeaway or the big message of the movie that you hope audiences walk away with?
Well, really, the main thing is it's a fun, entertaining movie. It's not a big Sunday school lesson. It could be if that's what you want to look at and take it that way, but really it's a lot of action and a lot of conflict and all of the heartwarming and all of the things that I think make a good movie. And I hope most people just walk out going, oh, it was just good. Beyond that, there are these messages about, getting along with people and love and kindness, all that kind of stuff. But really, for me, the main message is entertainment.